What you're about to watch is the product research module inside of my completely free school community where I show you guys how to make money with TikTok Shop Affiliate. The strategies that I'm about to show you right now are the strategies that I used to make $139,000 last year as an affiliate and pay way too much in taxes. But you know, it is what it is. So I hope you guys enjoy this and make sure to use them. So I hope you enjoy. Okay guys, so on this video, we're gonna be going over the product research methods. I'm actually gonna show you on my phone as I screen record going through a lot of them. But basically, with regards to product research, these are the 5 main ways that I actually just explore, for products to see if I can find anything worth actually testing. So a really quick thing to mention with regards to product research. Product research does take time. You should not just expect to, put 5 minutes of research into one of these options and then bam, you have a product. That's not to say that you can't find one right off the bat, right? But you should still do a lot of, dedicate a good amount of time to product research, especially as a beginner, because you're not familiarized with what the marketplace is. You don't know what the products that are out there are. So when you go through these different methods, you're going to familiarize yourself with what's trending right now, what products are out there right now. And that way, when new ones enter the marketplace, you can like pick up on those because you already knew what was there and now you see what's new. Another thing to keep in mind with product research is as the seasons come around, there's going to be new products that start to trend. So for example, when I knew that Halloween was coming up, already in September, I was trying to look for Halloween products because I wanted to, stay ahead of the game and look for products. Right now, we're in the fall season, so you can look for fall products. Christmas is coming up, so you can keep an eye out for like potential Christmas products, right? And then jump on them early before everybody jumps on them as well. We also have New Year coming up, so I know a lot of exercise stuff is going to blow up because people like to go to the gym in the start of the year. So start to think in that way when doing product research. Try to stay ahead of the seasons, and that's going to set you up for having first mover advantage with regards to these different products. Okay, so just I wanted to share all those things with you. Write those down, take those notes. Now let's actually go over to the product research methods. So it's organic scrolling, the product marketplace on TikTok, the lives tab, the Calidata top 20, and Amazon movers and shakers. These are the 5 main methods. I honestly, right now, since I've already explored, all of these at some point, the main method that I like to use right now is organic scrolling and the lives tab. So these are the ones that I like to use primarily right now. Let me actually underline those for you guys. These are the ones that I like to use right now. So I'm going to go over those live with you, but I still use all of these at some point. Like I try to like do research at least like once a week, just to stay fresh with what's on the marketplace. So let's actually go to the first one, which is organic scrolling. So organic scrolling literally looks like this. I'm gonna mute my phone. So this is like it just happens to be that the first video that I pop up on my feed is a product, right? It's a product. So the things I look for, if we look over here, I'm gonna pause the video really quickly. If we look here on my bullets, I have things to look for with organic scrolling. One, if multiple creators are marketing the same product and you keep seeing that on your feed or you keep seeing it all around, if multiple creators are marketing the same product with lots of views, like millions of views, that's a good sign that that product might be making a lot of sales for these people because all these people wouldn't be dedicating time to it unless there was sales happening. All you have to do is copy their videos and you should be able to make money. So this is a really powerful method. I use this a lot. Okay, so that's what I use for. That's one of the methods to keep out for. So with the one that we're looking at right now, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm going over to my screen. This guy's video, right out the bat, I know it's a shop video, right? Because I'm looking on the little orange shopping cart. It's right there, and I'm seeing he has a lot of likes. I'm seeing he has a lot of comments, a lot of shares. So this is worth me looking into it. So I want to see the first thing I have here. I want to see if this guy has a lot of views. So to do that, what I do is I go into his store, and then when you go into his store, see how this little thing popped up? It says just watched. I click on that, and TikTok is going to take me to his video. All right, so I see that he has 459,000 views. I can see that on the corner. And then when I open it up, I see that he posted this video on September 17. That was less than a month ago. So my next thing to consider here, if we go back to my presentation, that the video was posted no more than 1 to 2 months ago. That means that this is fresh. So if that's the case, this is already giving me more validation that this product might be worth considering. So if I open up the product to look at the next thing, let me see how many units have been sold. Okay, so if I scroll up, I see that 9,288 units have been sold in the past month or two alone. Obviously, I don't know if That's how long this has been going around. But this is already enough validation for me to know that it's worth looking into this more. And then if I want to take it a step further, if I scroll up to look at the creator tab, I get to see, okay, so look, I get to see learn from creators. I see a lot of people promoting this product. So I can actually go into their videos. I see they have 150K views, 2.4 million views, 380,000 views. I get to go into their profiles and see when their videos were posted. And this gives me even more validation. Okay. So that's what I would do if I saw a product on my feed. Let's actually, by the way, this is a little secret. Not everybody can do this, but I just want to share this with you guys. Not all accounts have this, but I'm going to share this. This is a secret. Nobody knows about this. If you want to see how many products sold yesterday, so like recently, this is an added bonus. Not everybody has this. This doesn't work the best with clothing because there's multiple options. But for example, if I went to this selection, just select any of them. I'm going to select the first one. I'm going to select the size. I think large is a common size. I'll add it to my cart. If you go over to your cart page, at least my phone, I don't know about you guys, but my phone, see how it says 30 purchased yesterday? That's a good sign of how much this is moving. The reason I say this isn't good for clothing is because there's so many different sizes that this number won't be the best. I can actually show you guys what I mean by that really quickly so you can see a better example. Let me show you. So I know that Gali sells a lot. Actually, let's just do this gut cleanse. So this gut cleanse, if I add it to my card, check this out, guys. See how it says 469 purchased yesterday? That's a really good sign that this thing is moving very well, right? Because if that many are selling, there's room for you to get a piece of that action. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys. Again, not everybody has that option, but it is the thing to consider. All right, so going back to my For You page, going back to the presentation, we saw that this creator is selling it, right? We saw that multiple creators are selling it with millions of views. We saw that this video was posted no more than 1 to 2 months ago. So, and we saw that it has 9,000 sold. So right off the bat, this is a product that has a lot of potential. So it's definitely worth ordering it in and testing it out ourselves. So what I would do is with any product that I find that I think has potential, always, always, always save and like the video. If you do not save and like it, it's going to be a hard time finding it again. And this is a video that you can use to recreate, especially if it had a lot of views and a lot of good reactions. So you would want to recreate this format. So save and like it. That is organic scrolling. That's very simple. Let me actually just keep scrolling on my phone to see if I find anything else for you guys really quickly. So I'm looking to see if I see the orange shopping cart button. I don't see it. I don't see it. So these are not shop videos. These are not shop videos. I don't care about this. Okay, so here's another one. All right, so this is another one. The hook is really interesting because it's showing these teeth, right? But let me take a look. I see it has 139,000 likes. So obviously there's good engagement. Let's take a look at the product. 19,000 sold. That's really good. I don't like the reviews. The reviews are 3.8 stars, so I don't like that at all. But it has a good amount of sold. Let's actually see if there are a lot of creators selling this. Okay, so these products have nothing to do with the product. So right off the bat, I'm not in love with this one. I'm not seeing too much about it. Guys, by the way, you won't always be able to see if this little tab on the bottom that shows videos, it wasn't made specifically to show you the same product. Sometimes it does, right? When it's a big product popping off a lot, it does. But sometimes it just shows you related items or products that might be marketed in the same way or in the same category. That's why I'm not necessarily seeing it right here. Another thing to consider is, by the way, see how it says in stock 122? That automatically would be a product that maybe I don't want to consider because it doesn't have too much stock. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't always matter because if you're the first one to find a product, it might not have a lot of stock. And then when it sells out, the supplier brings in a lot more stock. But, that's another thing to consider as to why I don't really like this one too much. But yeah, and then let me actually see how long ago this was posted. So I'm going to see Belinda. So this video has 9 million views, which is crazy.
Do not buy this water.
But it was posted more than 2 months ago. So I would probably ignore this one for now. I saw too many things that were against it, like the reviews weren't good. I didn't have too many comparable videos. The stock was pretty low. And even though it has a lot of views, I don't really like the fact that it was posted 2 months ago. So I would probably ignore this one for now. All right, so product marketplace. The product marketplace is the next method where we're going to look for products. So the product marketplace isn't my favorite option because I feel like sometimes this data isn't the most updated. However, it's still important because you get to familiarize yourself because these are products that sold. What I like about the product marketplace is, by the way, I'm going over to my phone to reach it. You're going to go to the Creator Center and then product marketplace on the toolkit right here. And then this is the product marketplace. So the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is right here, as I marked on my presentation in yellow, explore everything. I want you to play around with all the categories, with all the trending products, the best sellers, everything. Check out the different filter options. So, for example, when I go inside of best sellers, see all these filters. I can sort by best sellers, price, lowest to high, highest to low, new releases, commission rate. I get to put filters, right, to put the different brands or commissions. I get to put October finds, free samples, top brands, top selling, etc. So that's what I mean by explore everything. On the product marketplace, I want you to just look at everything because you will familiarize yourself with a nice overall view of what TikTok is like and what products we're blowing up on there. Okay. I did this. It's just like on our policy video on the previous videos. Familiarize yourself with it at least once and then maintain yourself up to date so that you at least see what's out there. But what I do on here is I like to go on best sellers a lot and see what is on best sellers. As you guys can imagine, since these are the best sellers, when you look at the products, they all have tens of thousands of units sold. But what I don't like about this is that it's not clear on how recent these products are. So if I was gonna double check these products, what would I do? For example, Euro. I would go on Euro. I would want to just see right on the bottom. Look, there's already videos down here. So I went into it. I get to see how many videos are made. I would check the creators to see how recent their videos are, as I showed you before. Just go on their profile. So for example, I would click on this lady's account. Let's let it load up. Then I would actually pause the video because if not, it's going to keep playing. So let me see if I can find her video. When you do it through this method, it's not that easy to find the video. So let's see if I can find anything. I think she had, how much was it? A couple 100,000 views. All right, so look, I'm scrolling through her account. Since TikTok didn't just immediately take me to the video, I have to scroll through. I don't really see too much her talking about the product recently. As you guys can see on her profile, she is focusing on Halloween. This right in itself is already giving me so much data, by the way. These are potential products to consider because if she's making these many Halloween products and I see the same one over and over again, it must be selling, right? But I don't really see her promoting Euro. Let me see. This is a Euro video. Okay, so check this out. I thought I might have been, since I was scrolling for so long, I thought this video was old. But check this out. Here's the video. 242,000 videos a month ago. Less than a month ago. That's a really good sign. It's a really good sign. And then if I actually add the product to my cart, let's see what happens. I'm going to add it to my cart. Let's see if you guys have this option. Let's see how many sold yesterday. Okay, so 75 purchased yesterday. That's not that great. Honestly, that isn't that great. Especially for a product that, how many does it have? 36,000 sold and 75 purchased yesterday. That's not the best. What I'm thinking is maybe there was a big sale recently. So see how the price is $53? Maybe there was a big sale recently and that's why it sold 36,000 units. And now that sale is gone. So maybe that's why it's not selling that well anymore. So yeah, guys, I'm running my thoughts through my mind as I'm going through this. So I hope this isn't confusing. But to summarize, what we're doing right now is we are exploring the product marketplace and just diving deep into the products, just trying to see how many, if any of these products interest you. We're trying to see if they were selling recently, okay? If they were selling recently, because again, TikTok doesn't give us that data on the product marketplace. But we are just exploring around, trying to see. Let me check this one right here, Anua Skincare. Let me see. It sold 48,000 units. Let me see if there's any videos. Let me scroll up. Let's see if there's any videos for it. Okay, so here's a couple videos. They don't have the most views. A lot of these aren't the same product anyway. Okay, here's one right here. This one has 400,000 views. Let me see if I can see when this video was posted. Okay, so I see she's still promoting it. I can't really see when it was posted. Oh, this is a guy posting it. I can't really see where he posted it, but I do see he's still promoting it, so that's a good sign, right? That's a really good sign. All right, so I'm scrolling. Yeah, this guy's testing a lot of stuff, but I still haven't seen the video. This is why it's better to find videos on organic. This is why I prefer organic, because you can easily find the video because TikTok just takes you directly to it. When you look through the marketplace, you have to scroll until you find it. Unless you also try this. I'm gonna switch the category to most popular. Maybe this is one of his most popular videos. Okay, so it is. So check this out. He posted a video for this skincare, but this was more than 2 months ago. but he did get 5 million views on it, which is a good sign, but it was more than 2 months ago. So is this one, the one that we had found. It has 500,000 views, but it was more than 2 months ago. So I would probably ignore this product for now. But let me just see another thing. So I'm going to add it to my cart, like I told you guys, just to see if you have this feature. Let's see how many it sold yesterday. So it sold 267 yesterday. That's not that bad. So it sold 267. That might be worth looking into. My sweet spot is something that's selling 1,000 a day. So if it's selling more than 1,000 a day, that's a really good sign. Okay, that's a lot of movement. So that's what I like to look for. This one's just okay. Okay, it's just okay. All right, so that's the marketplace, guys. It's very straightforward. There's not much to do here. Just check out everything. The spotlight finds is the same thing. Just check out all of them, right? But it's very straightforward, the marketplace. The next thing is the lives tab. So this one I like a lot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to my homepage where we saw the products, and what I'll do is I'll keep scrolling until I find a live that has a product. By the way, this up here, this guy, this is a live. See how it says live now on the bottom right left hand corner? I'm gonna scroll until I find a live that has a product. So let me see. These are not lives. These are not okay. So this is a live, right? This is a product. So this is Golly Nutrition. So what I would do for lives is if we're going over here on my presentation, the first thing is if you see multiple people going live with the same product multiple times a day. For example, today you saw it. Tomorrow you saw more people going live. That's a really good sign that this is probably selling because they wouldn't be doing this if it's not working for them. So that's the first thing to consider. I know for a fact Golly is a thing that a lot of people promote. So I already know it's a good product because it's like the top I think top one product on TikTok right now. But that's the first thing I would look for if multiple people are going live with the same product. If the views on the live are over 50, that's something I would consider because if a live has less than 50 views, it's probably either somebody that just started their live or maybe it's a product that doesn't get too much traction, right? It doesn't sell too well because TikTok isn't pushing it, right? Or this creator just sucks and I wouldn't trust them in the first place, right? If they just suck. So that's the thing I would consider. Ideally, you want to look at lives that have over 100 views. However, I always look at lives that have 60, 70, 80, 100. It just depends, right? You have to get a feel for it. If the live has 200 views, 300, 400, 800, 1,000, and they're selling a product, that's a really good sign, right? That's a really good sign that it's a product that's moving a lot because that means that TikTok is pushing it out because it's selling well, okay? It's not guaranteed, but it's a really good sign to consider. Okay, so going back to my feed. So let me see if I'm going to stick to that Golly one. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here's another one. I see people going live with the gut cleanse. So let's just go inside of this one. See how this person only has 13 views? They only have 13 views. However, I know for a fact this product sells a lot. So see how I say that the live number, the people live, like the viewer number, sorry, isn't the most reliable, right? It isn't the most reliable, but it's still something to consider, okay? But once you go inside of a live, the cool thing is, and this is where I'm going to show you the real secret, you get to scroll up and now you're only getting shown lives of other products. So I would use this to actually look for products. By the way, check this out. This ice maker live has 800 views. 800 views. That is already enough for me to consider, wait a minute, should I get an ice maker, right? And then after you see that it has a lot of views, the next thing you also want to consider is, what's the engagement like? So are there a lot of people commenting? Are there a lot of people asking questions? That's something you want to consider as well, okay? And then another thing is right here, this little thing that I marked here, high volume of people viewing product. So see right now on my screen how it says 3 viewers are viewing product in orange? That is live. So people are actually, whenever people view the product, you get to see that data. TikTok lets you know. So if you see that like every 10 seconds somebody's viewing a product, or every 10 seconds it says 10 people are viewing the product, that's a really good sign that there's a lot of interest for this product. The older the product, the less people viewing the product you're going to see because they're already used to it. The fresher the product, the more people viewing the product you're going to see, like the newer the product is. So that's the thing that I use, that little orange announcement there, people viewing product. So I'll just, for example, if I see a product that has good movement or that looks good on a live, I'll just stay watching it for like 5-10 minutes to see how it moves, okay? I'll just do that to see how it moves. Another thing you'll do is the X, go back to the presentation right here. See how it says X amount of people purchased during the live? That same notification that you're seeing in orange that says that people are viewing, if you stay long enough and there have been sales, eventually you'll see one that says, 25 people bought a product during this live. That literally gives you real data if this thing is selling or not. So I love that feature. That's actually brand new. Let's see if while we're talking here that pops up, but I haven't seen it so far. But anyway, so that's another thing to keep an eye out for, to give you data on whether this thing is moving or not. And then lastly, when you find a product, by the way, you can also go into the link on the live to see how many have sold. For example, this one sold 67,000. You see, it has different units, it has good reviews, et cetera, et cetera. But after you find a product that even gives you the smallest hint that it might be worth it, screenshot the live so that you can go back to this person's, actually see the product, right, to save it. Go back to the actual account. So, for example, you can actually go into the account and screenshot their names so you can find them later in case you want to keep studying them. Because if you see the live like this one that has 900 views, it's worth staying for 5 to 10 minutes to hear what they're saying, to study them, and actually consider copying what they're doing. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, so that's lives. Again, you go into, so to tell you how I got here, I was scrolling on my feed, I saw a live of a product, I went in, and now when I scroll, this is just the lives tab. By the way, look, this is another ice maker. So that's funny. Another person selling the live on the ice maker. So now I'm just seeing lives of products. So you guys can take a look at this and see what products are out there, see which ones are getting engagement from people, and consider those products, okay? And if you're seeing multiple people going live with the same product, that's a really good sign, okay? So that is the lives tab. Very straightforward, very cool to use. The next thing that I want to share with you guys is the Kalo Data Top 20. So the Kalo Data Top 20. This is basically a software. This is a website. I'm going to give you guys the link on the bottom of the this video description. So I'll give you guys the link. Kalo Data is a software that gets all the data on TikTok from the different creators and the different products and the different videos that are all out there. And it gives you real-time data, supposedly, right? Of what's selling. Okay, so you literally get to see what videos are popping off, how much they sold supposedly, and who the creators are and what the products are. So this data, this website, the data isn't the most accurate. However, this is the best website out there right now. So a lot of people use this, and a lot of people have made tens of thousands of dollars with these products. For example, right now, it says the top products are the Gali ashwagandha gummies. I can validate that. Like I myself made, I think it was $28,000 last month with this product alone. So I can validate that this is accurate. Okay. So Kalo Data Top 20, you actually have to pay to use this platform. I think it costs like $45 a month to actually use the platform and get insight, like deeper insight. But it's really cool because you get to, like, this as a research tool is really awesome because you get to see products that are selling, you get to see the videos that are bringing in those sales, and then you get to see how much they're making. I would honestly ignore that. It isn't the most accurate. But the fact that you get to see the videos that are making money means that you literally get to copy these videos. So you don't have to do the deep research. You get to copy them. So I would highly recommend this as a beginner. One of my favorite strategies, if you are a beginning student, is to look at the Kalo Data Top 20 and just choose a couple of these products that you think you're interested in, or that you just want to sell. You don't even have to be interested in them, but that you want to sell. And then try to sell them. Because if these are the top 20 on TikTok, that means they're moving, they're selling. So if you recreate a video that's working, in theory, that's already been validated. So it should work for you. So as a beginner, this is a strategy that I would highly recommend. And what I'm going to do for you guys is, since I know that you guys, a lot of you guys don't have the biggest budgets, I'm going to actually, I'm going to pay for this membership just so that we can have it in the community. And I'll give you guys every single week, I'll try to update this Kalo Data Top 20, or maybe I'll update it every month. I don't know. Or maybe every 2 weeks. I guess we'll take it by the ear. We'll as we go. But I'll give you guys the list of the top 20. So at least you'll know what the products are, and you guys can look for them on TikTok and do some research yourself. However, the caveat to that is that if you had the actual access to the platform, you can just look for the videos directly on there. But if I give you the products, you'll at least be able to look for them on TikTok and do a little bit of research, okay? So that's Kalo Data, super, super cool. And then this last method, before we end it out, is Amazon Movers and Shakers. This one is a little bit more advanced, and this is actually a secret strategy that nobody talks about on TikTok. I don't like to be public about it because it's like a thing that I like to keep for myself. But since you guys are part of my community, I'm going to share this with you guys so you guys can use it as well. So this is Amazon Movers and Shakers. Basically, Amazon is the platform online of consumer buying. So Amazon has the best data on what people are spending their money on, right? So they actually have this website. If you just go on Google and type Amazon movers and shakers, you get taken to this page right here. This updates every 24 hours. So every 24 hours, these products change up. It's basically a ranking of products that climb the ranks in sales volume the most in the past 24 hours for their respective category. Okay, so you're basically getting up to date information of products that move the most in their category from Amazon. So you get all the categories on Amazon. However, they shouldn't all be considered because they're not all the best. I marked right here the ones that I consider the ones that are the best. For example, appliances, electronics, beauty, and healthcare. These are really good ones. But you can just go through all of these. It basically gives you the top 100 products for that category. Okay. So, how do you actually use Amazon movers and shakers? What I would do is I would look for categories, I would look through the 100, and I would pick out products that are interesting to me. But just because they're selling on Amazon doesn't mean they're going to work on TikTok. So I made a little note down here. It's very important. These products that you pick from Amazon should be cross-checked or validated with TikTok to see if they're even possible for selling. So for example, is it even a product that exists on TikTok, right? The exact same product. Okay, if it is, good, it passed the first mark. If it isn't, then ignore that product. Okay, so if it is being sold on TikTok, how many has it sold? If it has less than 1,000, that means people aren't buying it on TikTok and you should just ignore it. But if it has 10,000 and there's viral videos recently, that means Amazon validated it's blowing up and TikTok validated it's blowing up. For example, I'm gonna give you guys an example. In the summertime, on Amazon movers and shakers, in appliances, the number one, number two, and number three products were ice makers. And then you would see if you went to TikTok that every other live was somebody selling an ice maker. That means this was a viral product that was being validated and sold by, like, it was literally being validated by Amazon and TikTok, where there's millions of people spending money, that it works. So that's how you cross check them. You use Amazon to get an idea, and then you see if they even exist on TikTok, if they even have sales on TikTok, if they have good reviews on TikTok, and then if other people are actually selling them on TikTok. So this is a really awesome method to use. However, this is a little bit more advanced and it requires more work. So again, in summary, to finalize the product research methods, my favorite methods are organic scrolling, and I showed you how to do that. The lives tab, and I showed you how to do that. The KO Data Top 20 is my favorite for like beginners because they don't have to do too much research. However, you 100% need to do organic scrolling, the product marketplace, the lives tab, KO Data, and Amazon. You need to do all of them. Okay. So that is my little tips for you guys with product research methods. I hope they serve you well. This is really all you need right now. If there's any new methods, I'll let you guys know in the future. But for now, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. And if you would like to get access to the entire course completely for free, I'll leave the link to the school group in the description, and I'll see you inside.